Michele Bachmann has a genius idea to deal with undocumented immigrants, and it falls right in line with conservative and Republican values. Let's hear her argument.
We talked virtually only to Hispanic Texans along the border, American citizens, and to a person. They also were disgusted with the president, disgusted with Congress. And they said, when is somebody going to get serious and build a real fence? When are we going to get serious and really deport right on the border? And that's what I think we need to do. I believe if we have to use eminent domain, we use eminent domain. But we build a real fence along the entire border. It needs to be well lit. It needs to have surveillance. It needs to have border guards on either side. We need to have then boats where there are waterways. That needs to be patrolled 24/7. If anyone somehow gets into the United States, they have to be adjudicated on the spot and deported on the spot. And Mexico, El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala, those countries are laughing at us because they're making money with their corrupt governments in conjunction with these international criminal cartels. They're all making money in kickbacks. What I believe we should do is have a 100% tax on remittances, the money that illegal aliens send back to these countries.
100% tax. Here I thought that the Republicans were the party of low taxes or no taxes. Oh, no, see, this is how it works. It turns out they only want you to pay no taxes if they like you. So therefore, if you're a rich white dude or you're on Wall Street or, you're a business owner or a billionaire, in that case, yes, no taxes or very low taxes. If you're Mitt Romney, you pay 15% in taxes. But if you're a middle-class earner, a lower-class earner, or an immigrant, 100% tax. 100% tax. Did you know it's the Republicans who, in Kansas and a bunch of red states, what they do is they raise the sales tax, which largely affects middle-class and lower-class earners, and they cut the income tax rate for the top earners. This happened in Kansas, this happened in Oklahoma, this happened in a bunch of red states. They claim that they're anti-tax, but what they really mean is we are anti-tax for rich, white Republicans. We are pro-tax for middle-class people, poor people, working people, and, of course, immigrants, where we want to do 100% tax. Oftentimes, they send money back because their families are so incredibly poor and they have no income. So that money is to eat and to stay in their homes and to stay alive. But here comes Michele Bachmann, super Christian, saying, no, I want to cut that off completely. And I love how she's convinced that that's the main problem in America. That's the real issue with money and finances and the economy. Yeah, Guatemala is stealing all of our cash. If she actually did give a shit about government spending and deficits and the debt, then why not talk about, I don't know, military spending? 57% of discretionary spending is military spending. Or how about corporate welfare? How about the bailouts of Wall Street and the bonuses that they paid out when they bankrupted their companies? They should have been fired, not getting bonuses and new private jets. How about the $4 billion that goes to ExxonMobil every single year in a subsidy so they can do research and development? Why do you need money to do research and development? Already being one of the most profitable corporations in the world isn't enough of an incentive to do research and development? It's ridiculous. And how many different Walmart is one of the biggest welfare queens in the country. But no, when it's an actual, genuine financial issue where it's a problem, right? Whether it's military spending, our 900 military bases, $7 trillion plus in Iraq and Afghanistan, whether it's corporate welfare, even pork barrel spending, for example. When it's anything that matters, where is she? Silent, got nothing to say at all. But if it's poor refugee kids who come to the U.S. to escape a country in Guatemala and El Salvador and in Central America that, oh my God, it's actually more dangerous than Iraq at the height of the Iraq War. Now we can't afford $1.30 for a Hot Pocket. Now we can't afford to give them water and a roof over their head for a little bit. Now it's a moral issue and we need to make sure that we crack down on these people. Man, it's unbelievable. It's not a problem, man. It's not a problem. How many people come here and then send money away? What percentage of spending is that in the country? 0.00000000001%, and she's outraged over it. Look, the thing that always gets me is Michele Bachmann really does trumpet her Christianity everywhere she goes. Except when it's actually time to maybe abide by those Christian values, and then nothing. See, this is the thing, man. If you read the Bible on the issue of immigration, it's not even an open question. Like, you can argue, based on different Bible passages and New Testament versus Old Testament, well, how about war, the issue of war? Well, sometimes God does genocides and slaughters, and he's pro-war. Other times, Jesus is very anti-war. And you can argue that part of it, right? But when it comes to immigrants, it is utterly clear. I did research for this for segments recently, and I gave you guys 7, 8, 9 passages where they say, no, yes, in every case, treat the immigrant and the sojourner, as they call them, like they're your own, But she's like, no, actually, I know I talk about the Bible ad nauseum, and I say we should be a Christian nation on paper, not just, in our minds. But now, for this one area, I like to disregard that and go by the gospel of Charles Manson and say, get the fuck out of our country. Really just deport them on the border. Send them right back through the desert where they're almost guaranteed to die on the way back. Michele Bachmann, I don't know why I still get worked up when we talk about her. She's clearly deficient in the brain department, but nonetheless, there you have it. The super Christian lady who forgot what being Christian actually means.